Konnichiwa, and welcome to Top Class Tokyo, a weekly read podcast about life in Japan and the collision of Asian and American culture. I am your host, Kim, English teacher by day and by night, podcaster extraordinaire, broadcasting to you from Kyoto, Japan. Joining me today in the flesh is my lovely co-host, Astra, my guest co-host for today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It is a lovely Monday morning.
Yeah, Monday morning, rainy morning here in Kyoto, Japan. We are sitting here in the Kyoto WeBase lobby enjoying the beautiful cat lantern sculpture. And this is actually our final day in Kyoto after an amazing...
Pretty packed weekend, honestly.
Yeah, it was just full of autumn leaves, scenic temples.
Lots of walking, many stairs.
Oh my God, way too many stairs.
Maybe I overdid it a little.
Yeah, and since you are my first guest on the podcast, I don't think you've listened to any of my previous episodes
No, because
yet.
I didn't know you'd published them yet.
Okay.
Sneaky.
But just to walk you through the typical format, which we don't really have a typical format because we just kind of talk about whatever, but the idea was to have a class theme, right? Because this is Top Class Tokyo, I'm a teacher, blah, blah, blah. So we have a couple segments I like to call report card.
Okay.
Where we choose a topic, whatever it is. I feel like today's topic naturally should be Kyoto and
Yes.
some of the sites we visited over the weekend. And we grade them on our report card. So,
Okay, what are our grade scales? A, B, C, and D?
yeah, since my usual co-host, Justine, is also an American,
Nice.
we use and I'm pretty sure at this point we only have American listeners right now. Our 3 subscribers on our YouTube channel.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure all of them are Americans. Yeah, we are just going to go with the American educational grading system, A through F.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus and minus?
Yeah, I do give plus or minus, so extra credit.
Can do. Can do.
For any special cases. Yeah, so.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, so what's on our report card today?
On our report card for today is
Yeah.
Kyoto, I think.
Maybe we should just run back through our actual itinerary and think about what we actually did.
I was literally just scrolling through my photos so I could have a better idea of what we've done this weekend because it's kind of a whirlwind.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
let's start with Friday. We came in by Shinkansen, Tokyo. The weather was amazing
Yes.
all weekend. Sunny, cool,
Perfect for a trip.
perfect fall weather. The leaves have just begun to change from green into these deep burgundy hues, and the ginkgo trees lining all the streets have turned this golden,
Beautiful.
bright golden yellow.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely stunning here. And I've only been to Kyoto once before, recently, in 2019, right before in the fall of 2019, before the pandemic hit. And unfortunately, I did not enjoy that trip because the borders were open. There were so many tourists. And so I feel that Astra and I have had this unique experience of getting to see Kyoto without quite so many crowds at all of the top tourist sites here. Okay, where were we? I think we were about to go over our itinerary this weekend. So we had a magical Kyoto fall excursion. Yeah, so let's recap. Friday
We got into Kyoto via Shinkansen, and we went to get ramen.
we had the Daiichi ramen on a really funny street that I decoded the kanji, and it meant little Tall Warehouse, Little Salt Road.
Yes.
So, for you kanji sleuths, you can figure that one out. Okay.
Yes. Assumably, there was probably some warehouse holding salt on that street at some point.
Small salt. A tall warehouse. Okay. Anyways, I'd actually been to some of the places that we hit on our itinerary before when I was here back in 2019, but it was your first experience
Yes.
for all of these places. So what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was really cool. There's just so much to see in this city, and like there's so many good little eateries. You just have to like look in the right places. I felt like this is a city you could just kind of wander around, going up and down streets, and you can find hidden gems in just about every place.
Okay, so first up on our report card is Daiichi Ramen. Report card.
A++.
Rating A++.
It was the best ramen I've had in my life, I'm pretty sure.
It was, let's describe the flavors. I would say it's got this very savory, salty, oily pork flavor. So if you like that kind of thing, definitely come to Kyoto, hit up Daiichi Ramen. There was a huge line while we were waiting outside.
Huge.
Not as long as it was back in 2019, but still, there was a pretty decent lineup, maybe about a 20-minute wait, at least for us.
Yeah.
But luckily, we had a really nice view of the night sky. We got to see the beaver moon.
Yes, the eclipse.
Yeah, so full moon plus the lunar eclipse.
Yeah, lunar eclipse.
Lunar eclipse. Just caught the last tail end of it as we were waiting in line.
Very cool.
Yeah. So that was our Friday night.
Oh wait, we went to the temple as well. The Fox Shrine.
Oh yeah. So we got in pretty late in the afternoon. Just had dinner, had our ramen, and then went to, what's the name of that shrine? It's the one with the lots of jinja.
Oh gosh.
Ta-da.
Let me look it up.
Fushimi Inari Taisha. That's it.
There you go.
So we, as a last minute decision after ramen, decided to go to the Fushimi Inari Taisha, which is the famous shrine on a mountain with just millions of red torii gates lining the path through the forest. And there's like some of these torii gates are spaced so close together that you can't, you almost feel like enclosed within them. They're so close to each other. But we went, what time? Maybe around like 9, 10.
Yeah.
Getting there really late. It was completely deserted.
Yes.
This shrine is not very well lit beyond the main entrance area.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty dark.
It was very dark and very spooky. And on top of that, there were warning signs for beware of monkeys.
Yeah, no, I don't do monkeys.
And featuring a very scary photo of a screaming monkey face on them. So
Yeah.
it was a little terrifying.
Yeah, I don't handle monkeys well on a good day. Middle of the night, definitely not.
Yeah, so it was a very scary place for to visit in the dead of night. Report card for Fushimi Inari Taisha in the middle of the night in a deserted Kyoto night.
Probably.
I'm gonna say a D or.
I was thinking it was probably a C- or a D+.
Yeah, I am not rating this one very high. I think it's.
I mean,
You
it is
tell me, because
cool.
you went back the next day.
Yeah.
In the morning, or yeah, in
In
the
the
morning,
afternoon.
in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I
how was
was-
your experience following day?
Yeah, following day, it was very busy. It was very, like, you had to wait in lines to go through the torii. So it wasn't as busy as, say, it would be if the borders were open, but it was still pretty busy. There was a lot of people there, a lot happening. I just kind of attached myself to this group of, like, college-looking students to just kind of, like, flow behind them because it's sometimes easier. It was gorgeous, but the stairs, I'm going to tell you this right now. I was not the only person to make this mistake. I wore nice clothing. Don't do it. Wear athletic clothes. Those stairs are intense. They're really steep. There's a lot of them. You're at a higher elevation. I didn't even make it to the top, actually. I made it to, like, this place that they were like, the view is so nice. If you make it this far, it's a beautiful view. And I made it to that, and I was like, nah, man, I'm going down. But just be prepared. It's going to be really, like, this is the middle of the fall, still very hot. But it was gorgeous. I would suggest seeing it both at the daytime and the nighttime, because it's really beautiful during the daytime. The sun just really sets off the red torii gates gorgeously. It's kind of fun to be in such a large group of people all kind of going to the same thing and just kind of being part of that crowd. But then at night you really get to see the torii, and it's really beautiful to just see it without having like a ton of people just surrounding everything constantly. So I will say that I think you should see it at both. That's just my personal opinion. But if you have to see it one or the other, I'd say go for the daytime.
Yes, D, torii gates, D, nighttime.
Yes. I'd say daytime.
Daytime score.
I would give it a B+. Just be prepared to walk a lot.
Yeah, I think it's the elevation that kind of like brings it down, because we're not very
athletic or not. I was wearing jeans and like a button-up t-shirt. It was not a wise choice.
Okay. Well, yeah, if you like hiking, I would recommend it. You would probably, like, people who like hiking would probably enjoy that shrine a lot more.
If dressed appropriately, I would have given
Yeah.
that thing an A+.
Okay. That was the end of our Friday night.
Friday night, we also went for soba.
Wait.
Or no, because I went, sorry. That was Saturday?
Yeah, that was not, because that
Yeah, because I
after
went
the Fushimi
daytime.
Inari, that was the end, right?
Yeah.
That was yesterday. Okay. So Saturday, what did we do in the morning? We did Imperial Palace. So in the morning on Saturday, we did Imperial Palace, walked around the grounds there.
Yes.
The palace grounds are actually, the inner sanctum, I would say, is kind of closed, but you can kind of walk around the outside of the walls. There's a huge park around the actual Imperial Palace that are like considered national park area. So there's a lot of beautiful trees and wide open spaces. You can go picnic there. For reference, the temperature this weekend during the day was pretty warm. It was about mid to high 60s, but it would drop like 20 degrees at night. So it'd be really cool in the mid 40s.
Yeah. So just be prepared if you're staying out all day.
Yeah, so you would definitely need to layer. And that's coming from me as an East Coast person. So if you're from California, like our 3 subscribers, you might need a decent jacket with you.
I was going to say, I'm from the Midwest, and I'm pretty hardy, all things considered. So I was fine most of the time, but there were a couple of nights where it was a little chilly.
Yep.
So definitely bring some layers and a jacket.
So, and then I think the highlight of our Saturday after Imperial Palace were the botanical gardens, which I was pleasantly surprised by. I really didn't know what to expect for the botanical gardens, but it turned out to be my favorite place the entire day, and I think you know the reason why.
I do know the reason why.
So when you go to the botanical gardens, you can get 2 types of tickets. There's a general admission ticket that lets you walk around the outside grounds, and they have a lot of different themed areas for the different, species, I guess, or variety of plants they grow there. So there's like an English rose garden. They have like a tropical garden with different tropical kind of plants. They have all these different little
bamboo forest.
Bamboo forest, yeah. There's a lake, and it's got the maple leaves around it. They've got cherry blossoms in the springtime. Everything. So a lot of the trees are looking kind of dead because a lot of the plants were spring blooming, but of course the trees around the lake were beautiful. There were a lot of people out with their watercolors doing watercolor paintings. There's some nice wildlife. You could see a lot of waterfowl.
Yes, many Mini ducks.
Yeah,
and
we saw some tadpoles and the
heron.
little guppies in the little buckets with the lily pads and stuff.
Yeah, but your favorite part.
My favorite part. Yes, we're getting to that. So, in addition to the general admission ticket, which costs maybe $2, something like that, you can get a $4 ticket, which includes admission to the greenhouse area. So I highly, highly recommend that you splurge and get the $4 ticket to the greenhouse because for me, I discovered my new favorite plant within the greenhouse. They have a Hawaiian native plant that's from the ginger family called the awa puhi plant.
Or also known as, what is it called? Spicy something ginger. Spice ginger?
It's basically this big stalk that shoots up out of the ground and it looks like a giant red pine cone.
Bitter ginger, that's what it's called.
And it looks soft, so if you squeeze it, it's actually full of water and all this ginger juice comes out of it. And it smells amazing and it's used as a natural cleanser. And it's just been used in traditional like herbal remedies and it has all kinds of uses for the juice. So we got a hands-on experience in the greenhouse. That was really, really cool. Got to see a lot of neat plants, a lot of weird shaped orchids, and just a lot of things I've never even seen before in botanical gardens back home. So pretty neat. What did we do after that? Botanical gardens, I would say A+.
Yeah,
excellent.
A+.
Yeah, the greenhouse really made it for me.
Yeah, after that we kind of separated and I went to the Fox Shrine again to see it in the daytime. And then we met up again for soba.
Oh, what's the name of that place? Gontaro something.
Gontaro, yeah.
Gontaro Soba. Gontaro something soba. This place is amazing. We had the shrimp tempura soba, followed by some kind of matcha jelly dessert, and it was so good.
The matcha jelly was perfect.
We were so pooped by the end of the day that this instantly recharged us, and we were just nourished and ready for bed.
Yeah, it was bedtime after that.
Yeah, so we just knocked out right after that. That was our Saturday, huh?
Yeah, that was our Saturday. Pretty full day, honestly.
Yeah, we were so tired. We were so beat.
Yeah. We briefly saw the giant torii for...
Oh, yeah, when we were walking to... Where were we walking from?
We were walking from the soba shop.
Oh, yeah, walking back from the soba shop is actually a really nice view because we passed by Heian's shrine. We didn't actually go up to it. It's a little out of the way. But we actually went through the grounds of the Modern Art Museum, which is this massive building. It almost looks out of place in the middle of Kyoto because it has this Western architecture style. And if I'm ever back in Kyoto again, I would love to actually visit because I haven't actually seen any modern art museums here in Japan yet, so that's something I'm still curious about. And this place looks really, really cool.
Yeah, it looks lovely. I looked at some of the exhibits online, and it looks pretty cool.
So
that was our Saturday.
yeah, so that's our Saturday. Sunday.
So Sunday we started out at the King Kokuji.
Oh, yeah. So, Sunday we were kind of reserved for all, our traditional stuff.
Yeah.
We did King Kokuji Temple Shrine? King Kokuji.
I think it's a temple. Yeah, so it's the Golden Pagoda.
Yes.
Most people know it if they see it.
And it's just overlooking this really calm, serene lake. And it's 400 yen to enter, which is around less than $4.
Yeah.
It was a little bit crowded, even for having the borders shut, just because I think it was a Sunday morning weekend on a holiday weekend for Japanese people. There were some crowds. We didn't get there right at opening, just maybe a little bit after.
Yeah, like maybe 30 minutes.
Yeah, and it was already starting to fill up. So
We got there like right at the same time as several school groups, which I think kind of made it even harder.
yeah, definitely a bunch of kids there on a field trip. But really scenic, really beautiful. There are, as you're going through the path along the temple grounds, there's like a couple wishing wells.
Yeah.
So if you're into like, I don't know, it almost felt like an arcade game where you like everyone is like trying to like throw the coins into like
Tiny bowls.
the tiny bowl in front of like the stone statue.
Yeah. The grounds are absolutely beautiful, and the gardens are. And it was just fun to watch people trying to throw the coins in. And when somebody got like hit the bowl, it made this beautiful sound. It was so much fun.
Yeah. So it was really nice. Not too many stairs. Very manageable. I feel like it's
Yeah.
very manageable. It's not exhausting to visit. So it's a little bit out of the way since it's on the very edge of northwestern Kyoto, but I still think it's worth going to visit
Yeah.
if you're in the city.
Yes.
So I would give it a solid A.
Yeah.
A for King Kokuji. They have a really nice gift shop too at the end. You can we bought a bunch of omiyage there. A lot of the omiyage at Kinkakuji Temple is gold themed since it's kind of like reflective of the actual like gold painted. Is it painted or like?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I can't tell like how they actually what materials they actually use to make the temple gold, whether it's paint or actual like gold leaf or like metal, just like on the actual building or whatever. But in the gift shop with all the omiyage, they do have a lot of gold flakes mixed into all the little goodies and edibles they have at the store. So we grabbed a bunch of
Yep.
little snacky things
Yes.
with gold leaf sprinkled on top.
Yeah. I just looked up. The temple is covered in gold leaf.
Okay.
So it really is gold that it's covered in.
Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, and like as you're leaving the temple grounds, there's a bunch of little tents and stalls trying to entice you to buy things, and
Very
we
expensive.
tried, yeah, expensive. We tried some matcha that had like gold
leaf.
flake leaf mixed into it.
It was very yummy.
It was good, but it was like $10 for like 3 cups. So
Yeah. No.
so bring your money.
Yes, bring your money and be prepared. The gift shops, they're going to get you.
Okay, and then what did we do after Kinkakuji? We came back,
We went to the gyoza shop.
had some gyozas. There's the gyoza shop less than a block from the Wii base.
Yeah, right next door. Really close and convenient.
Had our gyozas. And then afternoon, we went to Gion.
Yes.
We did Gion in the afternoon, and it was starting to get much more crowded.
Yes.
Everybody was out. Some of these streets were getting really packed, so it was just like slowly walking
Yes.
shoulder to shoulder along these like cobblestone roads.
Yeah, but you still had like enough room to maneuver. It
Yeah.
wasn't quite so like packed in like sardines like I think it would be normally.
Yeah.
Because this is a pretty famous road. Like it's like the road we were on is really famous. It has the Starbucks that like looks like a traditional Japanese house, and they've basically built the Starbucks into it. And so it's really famous, and I've seen tons of photos of it from travel bloggers and stuff like that. So it wasn't nearly as packed as it would be if the borders were open, but it was just really cool to kind of see everything in real life. And then we also went down the street where the pagoda is really like the traditional Kyoto photo is like the pagoda with like the traditional looking street and some geishas. We walked down that and there was like 20 people standing there taking photos. It was great.
Oh man, yeah. So after we hit the Starbucks and we were hanging out, it's really cool to kind of like, it's this odd fusion of East and West, because like literally there's 2 floors in this Starbucks, and the upstairs levels have these tatami mat rooms where you can take your shoes off and sip your Starbucks coffee on a tatami mat. So it's like, it's really neat experience, I think.
It is an original house to the area.
Yeah.
They just bought it and turned it into the Starbucks, which I think is super cool, so that they wouldn't ruin the aesthetic of the area.
Yeah, so you can get the feel of what it might be like to live in a very traditional kind of house. They have the lights set very low, so you're kind of immersed in this authentic Kyoto vibe. After that, we got pretty hungry, and then we were searching for places to eat around there. And I discovered this really nice rooftop bar / restaurant.
Yes.
Right across from the 5-story pagoda. And we had the most amazing view from the rooftop of this bar. You can see
all of Kyoto.
You can see all of Kyoto. And it was such a clear, clear, getting slightly cloudy, but still on this night you could see Kyoto Tower on one side. You could on the other side you could see the 5-story pagoda.
Yeah.
And then directly right behind us lit up was
the Kiyomizu
Dera. Yeah, so it's Kiyomizu Temple, which was our final stop for that evening. So I, like 5-star dinner, 5-star hotel. We almost missed it because we were afraid to walk down the giant.
Well, it was hard to tell. It just looked like a driveway for like the parking of the hotel, and so we went up further to see if like there was an entrance further down, and it was for a different building. So finally, I just walked up to the security guard and was like, asked him like, just said the name of like the restaurant, and he was like, this way, and he like pointed us down the very long driveway.
Yeah.
And then we went through like what can only be described as a security checkpoint. There was a bellhop and like a security guard waiting for us, and like they, obviously you have to take your temperature and sanitize, but like the hotel was so nice. So you're walking into the hotel, and then you take an elevator up to the 4th floor for this rooftop bar.
Yes, dress to the nines if you come to this place.
Yeah, it has a dress code technically.
Yes, so
I was not what I would consider dressed up enough for it, but they didn't kick me out, so.
Yeah, so we discovered the best kept secret in Kyoto, most beautiful view. And I will drop the link in the description below, so check it out. Exclusive to Top Class Tokyo podcast listeners. You're welcome. And then we ended the night at the fall illuminations of Kiyomizu Temple. So it was really nice walking up to the actual temple itself. There's a nice cobblestone path that's lined with omiyage shops. A lot of street vendors selling street food, hot, like steamed buns. Oh man, there was that one sweet potato shop with like sweet potatoes and like different like fruit daifuku. It had a line, so unfortunately we had higher priorities, but
yeah, can't stop at every shop.
If I come back here, I'm definitely not going to skip on that sweet potato fries shop.
Yeah. The shrine itself was really beautiful. I mean, this was the highlight of the trip for me.
Yeah.
It was the thing I most wanted to do. And to see the fall leaves illuminated at night, it was absolutely stunning and such an easy walk, all things considered. You didn't really have to go up any stairs, except for like initially you had to go up some, but it was a really nice, easy slope. And then you get to walk through the temple, which is really cool. So you get to go through all the different buildings and shrines, and it was really beautiful to see the shrines and the pagodas and stuff. They actually had really beautiful detailing on all of the buildings, which was just really stunning.
Yeah, I think out of all the temples we saw this weekend, Kiyomizu-dera was probably the most beautiful. I think it's situated on the side of the hill, so on one side is the city, on the opposite side you have the mountains. And the temple complex has the advantage of being on this high elevation that the view is just absolutely stunning. And not only that, it's very well lit. There is admission, so it was only 400 yen per person. And there was kind of a crowd, but I think it's still even worth the visit because of how big and interesting the temple complex is. It's not too big where you get exhausted just from walking around in this one place, but I think there's so many interesting sights to see along the way that it feels like there's more there in such a small area.
And like, we were going at night for a very specific purpose, and if you go during the daytime, you're going to be able to explore it so much more, and you're going to be able to explore the buildings a little bit more. And normally you don't have to pay a fee. The fee was really just for the nighttime fall leaf viewing.
Okay.
So normally you can just come in, but this is a special event.
Yeah, okay, I see.
It runs from, I think, mid-November all the way to the last week in November. It's just a couple of weeks.
So I wonder if the lights were like specially placed there just to, highlight the leaves at night, because I wonder if that's not actually there all year round.
I don't think that they are there all year round. I'm not quite sure, but I know that this fall leaf viewing at night is specific to this time. So you only have a couple weeks to do it. So if you're going to plan a trip around this specific temple, seeing the leaves at night, make sure you check the dates.
Yes, and we even had a little bit of an issue trying to book WeBase because when you're booking hotels in Japan, you do get discrepancies depending on where you're booking from.
Yes.
I tried to call the hotel directly, and they couldn't actually quote me a price because depending on where you are booking from, the price will be different.
Yes. Yeah.
And that means booking from within Japan or outside of Japan, the price will be different. So if you're using a VPN, you might want to check out the differences in the website prices if you switch your VPN country from Japan to, let's say, US. So keep that in mind.
Yeah. Also keep in mind that there are a lot of websites that offer discounts, and I know a lot of people in America are pretty wary of third parties, but sometimes you can get a better deal in Japan if you go through, say, the website called Agenda, I think it is. They're not like the typical ones. There are ones that are specific for Japan, but if you go through one of them, sometimes you can get a really huge discount. Maybe not necessarily for a place like WeBase, since it's a hostel, not a hotel.
Yes, it's hard to believe this is a hostel because of how nice it is, but yeah, the rooms are very economical. Let's put WeBase up on our report card.
Yeah, I would put WeBase at An A. Very good.
Yeah, it's a strong A. This is definitely a strong A. For being a very budget-friendly place to stay, you get the feeling of being in an actual hotel with the economy of sleeping in a hostel sized room, but you do get the option of having private rooms. So for me and Astra, we decided to get a bunk bed room, and it's pretty comfortable. We have our own private room. We have a key card.
Yep.
So the door locks, we have a key. It's very modern, very updated here. There's coffee lounge. They've got a refrigerator if you have food to bring back, toaster, tea.
They offer breakfast in the morning, which is absolutely delicious.
800 yen breakfast included with our stay.
Yeah.
So A for WeBase Hotel.
Yes.
And it's a chain, so they actually have other locations across Japan.
Yeah. I would definitely like to use them again in future.
Yeah, same. Great customer service. Except for on the phone when they couldn't give me
That was
a quote for the room. Trying to figure out what rooms they had available at the hostel was kind of a confusing issue too. But luckily, the English-speaking staff here was more helpful than the average hotel staff, I would say.
Yeah, I would agree.
So even there were some difficulties, I wouldn't ding them at all for it. And they still deserve a solid A on their report card. So good job, WeBase.
Yes. Yeah. Very impressed.
Yeah. So that was our Sunday, and now here we are at Monday.
Yes.
Ready to head back to Tokyo.
Ready to sleep in our own beds.
Very successful trip.
Overall, I'd say the trip was quite a success. There are very few things that I was disappointed in. Literally nothing, really. Everything was really nice. Since it's my first time in Kyoto, I wasn't quite sure what to expect, and I think it was just really a great experience.
Yeah, I think I had a much better time than I did 2 years ago, just because there are so many less people here.
Yes. I am really sad in some ways that the next time I come to Kyoto, the borders will probably be open, and it will probably be really hard to see anything. But that's okay. Just be respectful while you're here. I think that's something that I think every culture needs to be aware of, but just be respectful while you're here in Kyoto and obey the little signs that they have posted everywhere.
Except that we broke a few rules. I think they do have coin laundry here at the WeBase. And apparently you're not supposed to dry your jeans in the laundry, but YOLO. I needed some dry jeans.
Broke my rule follower's heart.
But yeah, I think that is all for today, class. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any comments, questions, please send them out to topclasstokyo@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, topclasstokyo. That is all. Class is dismissed. Thank you so much, Astra, for joining me on this special weekend, allowing me to join you, crashing your Kyoto trip. So hopefully we can do some Tokyo episodes in the future.
Yeah, let's do it. Thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me be a part of this.
All right, everyone, class dismissed.
What?